welcome back to Projects Watch. This is Sir P. Now today I'm going to be talking about Jamaica's massive 14.7% GDP growth. These are crazy figures. Figures so impressive that one of the many undercover trolls who just lurk on this platform, they don't do anything except wait for an opportunity, with them think, yes, now me have something I can lick Sir P with. Then them running on my DMs. And then them like, yeah, see, remember he said this, and now see this, ha ha ha. And as usual, it's a case of lacking comprehension skills. See, comprehension is a hell of a thing. People have ears, so them can hear things. But the information that going to them head, oftentimes they can't comprehend it. So them then interpret it a complete different way, arm themselves with it now, and ready to go on the battlefield. This particular troll was saying that, remember one time I talk about the economy, I know Jamaica's economy there's too many underlying issues, and you talk like say this can't happen and that can't happen, and I said Jamaica average 0.something% GDP growth because the economy is set up right. Haha, see there, 14.7. All they don't make things to get views. Alright, sure, but don't forget the bad mind scammer and fight against artists part 2. But look on it now. What's really going on? 14.7% GDP growth. Look on your screen right now, please. Statin put out the report, say in one quarter from April to June 2021, Jamaica GDP grew by 14.7%. Extraordinary numbers, right? Originally they had said 12.9, when I first saw the figures it was 12.9, then they adjusted it to 14.7. Sounds amazing, right? Jamaica rich again, right? Move over Switzerland, Luxembourg, all these wannabe countries, right? Jamaica, right, is the real cash cow around here. Or is it? I'm showing you something. Now this way I have stick on your screen is earlier in time they put outside 12.9%, but the reasoning behind everything is still the same. Right? So instead of 12.9, it's 14.7 as they corrected it. Right? The Jamaican economy expanded 14.7% in the April to June quarter, reflecting one of the fastest growth rates. See, at that, Simon still, I don't really understand why I go on at and read article and then run in, right, thinking, it's over. Finally I have something, right, flick serping and maybe no. But look what Simon miss out on. But it still trails pre-pandemic levels. The growth largely reflects recovery from stiff lockdown measures imposed a year earlier. I'm telling you what I go on. The 14.7% growth is Jamaica going back to where it used to be. It's not quote unquote real growth. You're going to say no, I'll come later on. Look on your screen again. The quarterly growth still puts the economy below 2019 pre-Big C levels. So when I say it's not real growth, I mean say a dopey growth in the exists a lie them a tell, they make up numbers to get views. Right? It's a case of Jamaica going back to where it used to be. So the video me do back in the day when I show say for decades now Jamaica's growth I hover around 0. This and like 1%, and I was saying in that video that countries like Rwanda that literally lost hundreds of thousands of people, the figure as high as 1 million in 100 days. In 100 days, I remember the video clearly. In 100 days, Rwanda lost, some people say 1 million. So let's work with a number. 1 million people in 100 days. Hell, even if it was 100,000 people in 100 days, that would be extraordinary, right? And I said, a country like that should be trying to recover for the next 500 years, according to Jamaican logic. Because Jamaican love tell us, oh, remember one time this happened, and that's why we can't get no growth. And I said, well, how Rwanda do it? How these other countries are doing it? Right? How is Rwanda's economy booming? How is these countries all around the world that has had adversity far worse than Jamaica could ever imagine? Jamaica has never seen anything like what happened to Rwanda. I use Rwanda. You know why I use Rwanda? Because if me use a country like, for example, I don't know, Denmark or something like that, one of them other countries who are going with things, then people might say, yeah, but them never have to deal with, alright, make a use of Rwanda because them look just like we. In 1994, what happened to Rwanda is was something where Jamaicans can't even go them bed go dream of that scenario. And if them dream, what happened to one in 1994, them that wake up and them that drop on them knees in a sackcloth and ashes and ball. And say, please don't make me run a nightmare again for the rest of my life. Much less the people who actually had it in a real life. You talk about countries like Sierra Leone for them civil war. You talk about Liberia. You talk about countries with some things where you're Jamaican ball board are things that other countries will love to deal with. We know Jamaican culture already. The whole thing would be better than making up excuses for underachieving is sprinting and making music. So when we did the whole video, I'm talk about the fact that don't gotta get your hopes up. You see in Jamaica, you know, kind of crazy numbers. It's because I've looked at the Jamaican economy, right, with a big micro, we call it, it's something I used to use, magnifying glass. Right? But I look on it fundamentally, right, from the root, right, it's shaky. The Jamaica's economy, as it currently stands, is not set up for no kind of sustained growth and prosperity for the people. Right? It is not. Jamaica's economy is top heavy. It is largely reliant on tourism and remittance. Right? Various sectors that could do better if the support was there, if the foundation was better. For example, manufacturing and certain things like that. Right? And even things that's basic, well, things that you would assume is basic, like getting certain bank accounts and things like that, where the government say, you know, they want the people in to be legit, they want people to move away from the black market and lower the bandulu thing, right? But then when you look at the barriers to entry, you know, look on certain local, them call them red tape, right? Enough people just kiss them teeth, right, and go link the man down and so. Enough of the checks and balances where them put in place, where them claims that it's to help reduce corruption and prevent this and prevent people who have, you know, illicit gains. It's complete foolishness. It doesn't stop them people there. It definitely don't stop no 116. It definitely don't stop nobody with the money and the links. It affects the poor and the middle class the most. People who can't afford links and who can't afford to buy out the entire system. Your favorite leaders know this. Right? The next major one, the next elephant in the bedroom is crime. Unless crime bring down to a certain level, right, there will be no real, right, economic prosperity for poor people of Jamaica. People from Tivoli, Jungle, Rima, Lariston, Jones Avenue, right, Norwood, Hendon, right. People who come from certain communities in Jamaica, if they are to see any kind of flourishing, right, the demons that hang over them head, right, the clans and the one order and the stone crusher and the 51, 50 and the 40, these gangs, right, have to get dismantled. Because even if one industry might start boom, right, and it reflects on the GDP numbers, right, that not going to do nothing for the average man in the street. Inner city communities can see real economic growth, especially in certain industries where they already excel at, right? Like for example entertainment, put on the best party, right? The best soup you might drink, you get it in the ghetto, right? The best local food shop you might come across, you probably booked up in the ghetto, right? Then people are not going to see no kind of growth until ordinary Jamaicans can just go downtown, right, and just walk into these communities, spend the money and walk out back freely. As it stands, nobody now going in and get to go spend the money. Right? Until that change, until crime, right, is reduced, those citizens will always be left behind. Right? See your favorite people who claim to them love the poor and talk about this. Right? I also have another video speaking about the fact that, right, crime and gangs, how it help keep poor people poor, right? So that's them kind of running them little charity tricks, put them little treat, and then people say, boy, the Dan Dove we man, look and give you one little treat. When if the Dan and them gang was completely removed, right, unless there's so much money, right, that's don't even know if to do with it. The party not nice like a ghetto party, right? But the bad now going to get to a party again. and safe. People love them safety more than anything else. People want to park them car and not have to worry. So when they come back, the whole of window them tear out and the radio and everything pop out tight. So look on your screen again. The economy declined then by 18.4%. So Jamaica's economy, because of Big C, Jamaica's economy shrunk 18.4%. Then you hear them say, for the quarter, the corresponding quarter, Jamaica economy grew 14.7%. Now you see why them say, even though the 14.7% growth is impressive, it still not reach back to what it did before because the economy shrunk 18.4%. This is simple maths. It don't even reach back at the 18.4% yet. Think of it this way. You did have $100 in your pocket, right? Simon run down upon you, pop out one ratchet, and him take away $50 from you. Now you only have $50 left in your pocket. You go file a report at the police station. The police them run down Simon and catch him. By the time they catch him, him only have $40 left out of the money when thief for you. Him have 40 out of the 50 left, can give Simon $10. Right? The police then give back the $40. Now you have $90. So even though, right, you're seeing recovery, because you get back something, you're only heading back to where you already have. It's not like say you get $40 on top of your $100. Right? You get back $40 out of the missing 50. So you're grateful, so you get back $40, right? But you still not reach back, right, to the point where you did it when Simon rob you. So Jamaica's economy, right, is not flourishing, 14.7% GDP growth. That would have been extraordinary if this was pre-Big C. If before the Big C and then we used the 1 quarter 14.7% growth one, then we can take notice and then we can say, right, which industry will drive that and then what this mean for the average man in the street. Right? But no, Jamaica's economy is not thriving and booming. Right? We're going back to the mediocrity where we once there. This is what we're doing. Where Jamaica's economy was mediocre before, right? We fell below mediocre. Now we're heading back towards mediocre. When time we get back to what we did there, that's when time the economy really start to get watch again, because now it's alright. Right. Carry on from here, so. You see, people are so emotional over their leaders, whether them favorite artists or whoever. Right. That's the comprehension skills, right, go out the window. Well then again, maybe they never have none from morning. Maybe I'm giving people too much credit. But here's the thing. When you see me make a video and me say the government now perform here so, the Minister of National Security need to hit these kind of targets, right? Horace Chang need to sort out this, Commission need to sort out that, Andrew want to sort out this, Mark Golden need to sort out that. Let's get something clear. I'm not sitting in my yard, right, harboring any kind of feelings towards your favorite leader. I genuinely don't care. But people actually have roles, people actually have power and influence in society, have to be held accountable. That's literally part of their job. Leaders need to be held accountable. I don't want your beloved leader to fail. I don't want your precious idol to fail. I actually want to see the Prime Minister hit some big numbers and set some records. I actually want an opposition who actually have any kind of use. I want to see Dr. Horace Chang have a year where murders cut down to 9, anything under 1,000 will be success. I want to see that. I want to see the education minister succeed, right? And the schools in Jamaica, right, start produce some students that are actually capable of going on, right, to do something of value in a society. Right? The last time I looked, only about 20 to 30 schools in Jamaica are performing above average level. 20 to 30. You can go check it for yourself. And that's just performing above average. If you talk about performing at a level that described as excellence, then that figure cut down to about 10 or so. I want these people to get results. That way we can hurry up, right, and done with YouTube. If people think I want, right, to get up every day and make YouTube videos, I belong in the dirt, in the mud, in the bush. That's where I've spent most of my life. Me can't wait, right, for Horace Chang or some other Minister of Security, right, get crime under control. Right. Me can't wait, right, for hear say the employment figure, right, gone way down to nothing, and Jamaicans, right, have meaningful employment and can provide for themselves and stop stretch them. And me can't wait. That way, me can hang up the mic and go on about my business. Right. I am not your favorite celebrity. Right. I don't want no plaque on the wall. I just want to see Jamaica change, right, so I can cut and go on about my business. The same way you have passions are the same way me have them too. But I have to put all of that on the back bench, right, and focus on this. I want to go back to my passion them too. It's not like how you just listen to a video then go back to your life. As soon as a video drop, I'm back working on the next one. But you know why I do it? Because of one word, right, that is now become look like a bad word in Jamaica. That word is duty. Any group of people, especially men who don't have a sense of duty towards something, towards them home, towards them community, towards them nation, right, you know that society is in problem. Duty, right, is when you do what you must do, right, not because you want to do it. Right. You think men who go off to go fight, right, to defend them country against an invading force, you think them wanted? Right. You think soldiers in World War I, II or whatever, right, you think them wanted, even them movie they wanna watch, Sparta 300 and all these old time, you think those men want to get spears in them chest? You think them want to get bow and arrow? You think them want to get arrow fly through them foot? Right. People, especially men, keyword men, not males, men, right, believe in duty and you do what you have to do, right, not what you want to do. You know me want to do? Lie down and sleep all day. Right. I'm not getting no younger. Right. I've earned the right now, right, to lie down and sleep for the rest of my life, right, every day. Right. But duty, right, Jamaican people, especially Jamaican men, must adopt a sense of duty. The same way a man get up and go into the farm in the hot sun, right, to plant him yam and plant him banana, right, because he knows this is how his family is fed. It's called duty. You think the man want to burn up in the sun all day, right, and cut out them foot in a bush? Many of you, if you look on your grandfather them and your sister them and them roasty and mash up, right, you think them be want them hands stay so? You think them never want have them nails and everything pedicure and them hands smooth? They did what they had to. It's called duty. When that mindset was common in Jamaica, especially amongst the men, people could have got in bed, go sleep with them door open, even though them never have nothing in them name except one bed, right, one piece of mattress, one kerosene stove, and a chimney. Real poverty. Anyway, Patreon Squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know, more life. Vulture Squad, stay circling. Bless.